sort of topic. This is everywhere, man, because I was talking about the doctor, so I'm happy to go see her. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. That's where I was. I'm going to ask a lot of questions about Plaquenil. And I think I had an outbreak. It's really funny. I have a blood clotting problem, and the short version is my red blood cells create these little globules of mess, and inside live all of the diseases I've ever had. Now, most people's bodies have a lot of the diseases they've had. They never leave, but mine cycle through in a funny way, and when those things get broken apart. Anyway, I had an outbreak of chickenpox. Like, last night when I made a video, I had like one here, and then they were all over my tummy. Right now they're on my jawline, so I keep getting this sort of outbreak of things like chickenpox. And then it's just so, our bodies can be so sci-fi because it's here, and they look like chicken pox, and I'll have them for about an hour, and then they retract and then show up somewhere else. Man, I'm sorry, I'm so all over the place. So anyway, I have a lot of questions to ask my doctor tomorrow, so I'm glad to be able to get to see her. I'm also excited because my parents help me a lot. I mean, my parents are the backbone of my life, and my mom gets to meet my doctor for the first time tomorrow. My dad has already met her several times, but my mom gets to meet her, and so that'll be fun. She's spending so much time and energy supporting me in my illness. It's nice that she meets the other woman that is doing the same thing, but for money. So yeah, I'm wondering how some of you guys are doing. I haven't heard from a lot of people on how they're feeling. Early in the week, everyone was really active, and now, towards the end of the week, everybody's sort of quiet. The only other thing to report is I'm feeling sort of bummed. We had a date night tonight. Now, I used to be a girl this side of a year and a half ago. It's been about a year. I've been sick for a very long time, but it's been about a year that I've been, I shouldn't say housebound, but virtually housebound. I go very few places. I spend most of my time within the confines of my home. And especially for me, that's an extreme thing. I was somebody that was out in nightclubs and bars and parties and events, because it wasn't all just like alcohol-centric, but at least 4 nights a week, every single week of my life. My life. And I would get very ill from that too, but I mean, I just loved having a very active social life and being out in the world a lot. And so for me to come to a place where I prefer to be at home with my sock monkeys, like, it's a pretty severe thing. So even on days when to you guys it seems like I have energy, oh, how the mighty have fallen. But so tonight we were having a date night, which I was very excited about, and he suggested midweek because I was very depressed and very upset. And so that was really nice of him, but a lot of the things sounded too overwhelming, which is ridiculous because his ideas weren't like, let's go bungee jumping, let's go skydiving. They were like, let's go to the baseball game. And that just sounded too much. So we wound up going to have dinner. And that took, I mean, God bless him and his patience, that took a couple of hours just because I'd eat some. We did this like sort of around the world buffet thing at a casino, and I'd eat some and then it would be sort of overwhelming, so then I'd sort of space off and be silly. And so anyway, out in public having dinner was overwhelming for me, and I felt sort of pathetic. All in all, it was a pretty good night. I'm very grateful for it, but I do feel sort of pathetic that sitting at a table or having to get up to go to the around the world buffet is what feels like one of the most exhausting things in the world. I just feel like, what has happened to my life and who am I, you know? There are so many aspects to who I am right now that I don't even recognize as being parts of my former self. I'm sure they were in there somewhere, but I don't even know who I am. But that's all part of it. There are people all over the world struggling with illness. It's part of it. But it can be a very disorienting thing to not be able to recognize yourself and to hunt all day long for just a piece of your former spirit. That can be a bummer. But, you know, we keep fighting, right? Have a good weekend. I'll report back from my doctor after tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon.